Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel GSI PUC Mysuru. This is the 8th session of the 4th chapter, Passive Electronic Components. In the last few sessions, we discussed what exactly is a resistor, resistance, different types of resistors, and we dealt with the next type of passive component, that is capacitor. What do you mean by the capacitor, what is capacitance, and the energy stored in a capacitor. In today's session, we will be dealing with the classifications of capacitors. So, classification of capacitors. In the classifications of resistors, I told you that the resistors are broadly classified into two types, fixed resistors and variable resistor. In a similar way, even these capacitors are majorly classified into two types. One is the fixed capacitors and the variable capacitors. So, these capacitors are classified into fixed capacitors and variable capacitors. So, what do you mean by this fixed capacitors? The name itself is specifying the capacitance of this capacitor is constant. The value of the capacitance of these fixed capacitors cannot be changed. And what is this variable capacitor? Variable capacitor is nothing but the capacitor in which the value of the capacitance can be varied. So, these fixed and variable capacitors are furthermore classified into different types. Coming to this fixed type of capacitors, we are having ceramic capacitors and electrolytic capacitors, polystyrene capacitors, and so on. So, these are some of the different types of fixed capacitors where the value of the capacitance will remain constant. Coming to these variable capacitors, we are having ganged type of capacitor, trimmers, as well as padders. So, these are the different types of variable capacitors where the capacitance value of these capacitors can be varied by some of the means. So, these capacitors are broadly classified into fixed and variable capacitors. Now, let us see how these capacitors are symbolically represented. In a common way, the fixed type of capacitors are symbolically represented by this. This is a fixed capacitor, but in the fixed capacitor, we are having one more type, what is called as electrolytic capacitor, and these electrolytic capacitors are polarized capacitors. In the sense, there is polarity for these electrolytic capacitor, and those electrolytic capacitors are symbolically represented like this, one with a straight line and one with a curved line. So, this is a electrolytic capacitor where the straight line indicates the positive terminal and the bend line indicates the negative terminal. So, whenever you are going to write the capacitors in this manner, you need not again mention the positive and the negative polarity. If you are going to write the capacitor in this way, then you have to mention like this, but usually the capacitors, the electrolytic capacitors will be indicated symbolically represented in this manner. Coming to a variable capacitor. Variable capacitor is nothing but the value of a capacitance can be varied. So, a variable capacitor will be written like this with an arrow mark across the symbol of a capacitor. It is similar to the symbolic representation of a resistor where a variable resistor is represented by writing the resistor across which an arrow mark will be written. So, like this we are going to represent the capacitors, fixed, variable as well as electrolytic capacitor. Now, let us discuss about the different types of fixed capacitors. How are these capacitors are classified? Capacitors are broadly classified into fixed as well as variable type. We have already discussed about that. So, depending upon which material is used as a dielectric medium, these capacitors are furthermore classified. In the resistors, depending upon which material we are using to construct the resistor, that is, if I am using carbon as a resistive element, then I am going to name it as a carbon composition resistor. If I am going to use metals as a resistive element, then I am going to name it as a metal film resistors. Accordingly, these capacitors are classified depending upon which medium or which dielectric medium I am using in the construction of these capacitors. Accordingly, we are going to classify these resistors. So, the very first type of fixed capacitor is a ceramic capacitor. So, what is the ceramic capacitor? Ceramic capacitor is one of the type of a capacitor where ceramic is used as a dielectric medium. And these ceramic capacitors can be disc in shape or tubular in shape or rectangular in shape. And these capacitors, ceramic capacitor consists of two disc or two rectangular shaped plates or two tubular shaped plates. And between these plates they are going to use or they are going to place a ceramic dielectric medium. So, ceramic dielectric medium is nothing but a compound of titanium, barium, magnesium and strontium, and the conducting plates can either be made of tin, aluminium or silver. They are going to use either of these three materials in order to construct the plates, and between those two plates they are going to place a dielectric medium, and two metal leads will be attached to the plates. Metal leads in the sense copper leads will be attached to the plates for the external connection purpose, and these units or the entire unit will be completely encapsulated with a plastic coating for the protection purpose. So, these ceramic capacitors are nothing but the capacitors, one of the types of fixed types of capacitor where the ceramic will be used as a dielectric medium. Ceramic is nothing but a compound of titanium, barium, strontium and aluminium, and the conducting plates will be either made up of aluminium, tin or silver, and the copper leads will be connected on the two plates of the capacitor for external connection purpose, and the entire unit will be encapsulated within a plastic envelope or within a plastic coating for protection purpose. Coming to the specifications of these ceramic capacitors, they are available in the range of 1 picofarad to 0.01 microfarad. The range is 1 picofarad to 0.01 microfarad, and the voltage rating of these capacitors is 50 volts to 10 kilovolts. So, these are the two specifications of these ceramic capacitors. Coming to the applications of these ceramic capacitors, they are very much suitable for high frequency equipments and for the radio frequencies, microwave systems, defense equipments, computers, etc. These are some of the major applications of these ceramic capacitors, and as I have already told you, these capacitors are named depending upon which material we are using in order to construct the dielectric medium of a capacitor. Now, let us move on to the next type of a fixed capacitor, that is polystyrene capacitors. These polystyrene capacitors are made up of very long thin metal foils, and these two metal foils will be separated by a polythene sheets or a mylar sheets, and they will be rolled together to form a cylindrical shaped capacitors, and the connecting wires will be joined to the two metal foils, and it will be encapsulated with a suitable resin binder. So, this is a simple construction of a polystyrene capacitor. Here we are going to use polythene sheets or the mylar sheets, hence it is named as polystyrene capacitors, and the available range of these capacitors will be 10 picofarad to 1 microfarad. The specifications of these capacitors is the range will be 10 picofarad to 1 microfarad, and the voltage rating of these capacitors is from or it's up to 630 volts. So, these are the two major specifications of these capacitors. One is the range of this capacitor, which lie within a range of 10 picofarad to 1 microfarad, and the rating of these capacitors will be up to 630 volts, and these specifications will be printed on the capacitors, like what is the range and what is the voltage rating, that will be clearly mentioned on the capacitors. And I forgot to tell you about the capacitance value of a ceramic capacitor. The size of the ceramic capacitors will be very small, so it is not possible to display display the capacitance value in farad. So what they are going to do is they are going to print 3-digit numbers on the ceramic capacitors like 103, 104 and so on. So if the capacitor is printed with 103, the first two numbers indicates its value and the third number indicates the number of zeros in front of these first two numbers, and this will always be in picofarad. Picofarad in the sense 10 to the power of minus 12 farad. So the capacitance value which is having a number printed on that is 103 means it is equal to 10000 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farad. If I want to convert this into microfarad or into a nanofarad, so what I am going to do is I am going to shift the point towards the left. If I want to shift the point towards the left, that is if I want to convert this into 10 to the power of minus 6, what I am going to do is I am going to shift the point towards left to 6 different places. It is nothing but 0.0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 0.01 into 10 to the power of 6 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farad. I am retaining this as it is, but when I shift the point towards the left to 6 different positions, I will be getting 0.01 into 10 to the power of plus 6. So this gets cancelled with 10 to the power of minus 12, retaining 10 power minus 6. So the capacitance value where the number will be printed as 103 is equal to 0.01 microfarad. Similarly, if the number is printed as 104, then the first two digits will be retained as it is and the third digit will be the number of zeros in front of that number, and this will be in picofarad. So now let me shift the point again to the left to 6 different positions because I want to keep the answer in microfarad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 0.1 into 10 to the power of 6 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So this gets cancelled with this, retaining 10 power minus 6. So this value is 0.1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farad or 0.1 microfarad. If I want to keep the same number in a nanofarad, what we are going to do is the difference between picofarad and nanofarad is just 3. So we are going to shift the point towards the left to only 3 positions. So 1, 2, 3, that is 100 into 10 to the power of 3 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So this 3 gets cancelled with minus 12, retaining minus 9. So 100 nanofarad. So if a capacitor is found to be having a number which is printed on that as 104, then its value is equal to 0.1 microfarad or 100 nanofarad. Since these ceramic capacitors are very small in size, the capacitance value will be indicated like this, that is by printing the 3-digit number on the capacitance, on the capacitors. Whereas the polystyrene capacitors, in the polystyrene capacitors, the value of the capacitance as well as the voltage rating of these capacitors will be printed on the capacitors itself. Clear? Now let us discuss the applications of these polystyrene capacitors. These polystyrene capacitors are used in the radio frequency equipments or in the radio frequency applications and in digital computing apparatus as well as in measuring dosage of X-rays in X-ray machines. So these are some of the applications of these polystyrene capacitors. Now we will move on to the next type of fixed capacitor, that is electrolytic capacitors. These electrolytic capacitors are one of the type of fixed capacitor, and these are the only capacitor which is having the positive and the negative terminals. So what are these electrolytic capacitors? Electrolytic capacitors consist of 2 aluminum foils with an electrolyte of borax, phosphate or carbonate. So electrolytic capacitors, the name itself is specifying there has to undergo the process what is called as electrolysis, and these electrolytic capacitor consists of 2 metal foils with an electrolyte of borax, phosphate or the carbonate. And the metal foils what they are going to use in these electrolytic capacitors are nothing but the aluminum foils. So in between these aluminum foils, absorbent gauged soaked with an electrolyte is placed between the two aluminum foils which undergo the electrolysis process. As soon as a DC power supply is connected between the two plates of aluminum foils, then an oxide film is formed which acts as a dielectric medium. So until and unless an DC source is connected between the two plates of a capacitor, the dielectric medium will not be present, but as soon as the DC power supply is connected between the two plates of a capacitor, there undergoes a process due to which there will be a formation of oxide layer which acts as a dielectric medium. And there are two connecting leads for this electrolytic capacitor. One will be named as positive, the other one will be named as negative terminal. Coming to the construction of these electrolytes, electrolytic capacitor, we will be having two aluminum foils. These are the aluminum foils, in between which we are going to place electrolyte. So this is a electrolyte, and here we will be having aluminum oxide film which acts as a dielectric. So we are going to represent these capacitors like this, and the symbolic representation of this capacitor is like this, or simply it is like this. So this is the positive terminal, negative terminal, and this is the negative terminal. The electrolytic capacitors will be symbolically represented like this, and these electrolytic capacitors will be having two leads. One is the longer lead, the other one is the shorter lead. The longer lead is the positive, having a polarity of a positive, and the shorter lead is negative polarity, and the polarity, the negative polarity will also be printed on the surface of the electrolytic capacitors. And connecting these electrolytic capacitor in a proper way in the circuit is very important. While connecting these electrolytic capacitors, you have to make sure that the positive terminal of the electrolytic capacitor is connected towards the higher voltage, and the negative terminal is connected towards the lower voltage, that is the lower voltage. Otherwise, the electrolytic capacitor will get exploded or it might get damaged. So this is the only one type of capacitor which is sensitive to polarity, because these electrolytic capacitors are having the positive and the negative terminals. When talking about the polystyrene capacitor or the ceramic capacitors, they are non-polarized capacitor, that is they are not having any kind of polarity, but these electrolytic capacitors are the only one type of capacitor which is having the polarity. Coming to the specifications of these capacitors, they are available in a range of 1 microfarad to 10,000 microfarad, and they are having a voltage rating up to 450 volts, and these specifications will be printed on the electrolytic capacitors because their size is slightly large compared to the ceramic capacitors, where in the ceramic capacitors the capacitance value will be indicated in terms of 3 digits, whereas here the range, that is the value of the capacitance as well as the voltage rating, will be printed on these electrolytic capacitor. If the voltage handled between these capacitors ends is more than the voltage rating what is mentioned on the capacitor, then the capacitor will get exploded or it will be damaged permanently. Coming to the applications of these electrolytic capacitors, they are used as a bypass capacitors, and they are used to filter, or they are used in the filter circuits where they are used to remove the ripples in the DC power supplies. So these are the major two applications of electrolytic capacitors. Now let us move on to the next type of fixed capacitor, that is SMD capacitors. These SMD capacitors are nothing but the surface mount device capacitors. These SMD capacitors are rectangular, very small in size or very compact chip capacitors. That is, these SMD capacitors can also be called as chip capacitor. They can be easily mounted on the surface of the PCBs, hence it is called as SMD capacitors, that is the surface mount device capacitors. There is another type of SMD resistors, that is ceramic SMD resistors. Ceramic SMD resistor. As I have already told you, these capacitors will be named depending upon which dielectric medium we are using to construct this capacitor. Here in the ceramic SMD capacitors, we are using ceramic as the dielectric medium between the two conducting plates. The inner electrodes are connected to two terminals either by silver palladium alloy or a silver dipped with a barrier layer of plated nickel and finally covered with a layer of plated tin. So, the two terminals will be placed on the surface of the PCB boards. Coming to the specifications of these SMD resistors, they are available in a range of 1 picofarad to 0.1 microfarad and their voltage ratings will lie within a range of 100 volts. They are having a tolerance value of plus or minus 25% to plus or minus 5%. So, these are some of the specifications of these SMD resistors where their specifications will be printed on the surface of the SMD capacitors. Coming to the applications of these SMD capacitors, they are very much used in avionics system, sonar systems, satellite system, timing circuits, etc. So, there are a vast applications of these SMD capacitors. So, now let us discuss about the other type of capacitor, that is a variable capacitor. So, what are these variable capacitor? Variable capacitors are nothing but the capacitor in which the capacitance value can be varied, and there are different types of variable capacitors. The very first one is ganged type of variable capacitors. Ganged capacitors. These ganged type of capacitors consist two set of plates. One is called as the rotor and the other one is called as a stator. This rotor can be rotated at an angle of 180 degree and the capacitance value can be varied by changing the effective area between these two plates, that is by changing the effective area of the stator and the rotor, because we already know that the capacitance value can be varied either by varying the area, because capacitance is directly proportional to area of cross section of the plates and inversely proportional to the distance between the two plates. Here in this gang type of capacitor, we can vary the capacitance value by using this rotor or by rotating this rotor, which can be rotated at an angle of 180 degree, and by changing the effective area between the two plates, that is the area between the stator and the rotor, the capacitance value can be varied. Here air will be acting as a dielectric medium. Capacitance value can be varied from 30 picofarad to 600 picofarad. 30 picofarad to 600 picofarad is the capacitance value or the range of the capacitance value, which can be varied with the help of these gang capacitors. As I have already told you, gang capacitor is one of the type of variable capacitor in which the capacitance value can be varied within a specified range. So, this gang capacitor is used to vary the capacitance between 30 picofarad to 600 picofarad. The capacitance value of this gang capacitor can be easily calculated by this formula: C is equal to n minus 1 epsilon naught epsilon r into A divided by D, where n is nothing but the number of rotating plates, epsilon naught is nothing but the permittivity of free space or vacuum, epsilon r is nothing but the relative permittivity of the medium, and A is the area of the plates, D is nothing but the difference between the two plates. Now let us see the next type of variable capacitor, that is trimmers and padders. Here trimmer and padders are the other types of variable capacitor in which the capacitance value can be varied. So, here in padders as well as trimmers, the capacitance value can be varied by changing the distance between the two plates. In the trimmer capacitors, we are going to call these capacitors as parallel plate capacitors, because there will be having two alloy metal plates which are placed parallel to each other. One will be fixed on the bakelite base or the porcelain base, and the other one will be placed on the tension plate such that the distance between the two plates can be varied by adjusting the screw which is present on the tension plate. So, by varying the distance between the two plates with the help of a screw, we can vary the capacitance value of the capacitor in an easier manner. Here in the parallel plate type of trimmers, the mica will be acting like a dielectric medium. Coming to this padder, here the capacitance value can be varied by changing the distance between the two plates. It consists of two or more plate couples. Again, the distance between these plate couples can be varied with the help of a screw, and by changing the distance between the two plates, we can easily change the capacitance value of a given capacitor. Even here, mica sheets will be acting like a dielectric medium which will be placed between the two plates. So, these are some of the types of variable capacitors. Coming to the specifications of these, they are available in a range of 1 to 100 picofarad, and their voltage rating will lie from 1 to 100 volts. Coming to the applications of these variable types of capacitors, they are most widely used for tuning purpose, that is, they are used in the tuning circuits and is used for setting the frequencies in radio receivers. So, these are some of the major applications of these padders as well as trimmers of variable capacitors. So, let me conclude this session at this point. So, in today's session we discussed the different types of capacitor, like capacitors are broadly classified into two types: fixed capacitors and variable capacitors. Fixed capacitors are nothing but the capacitor in which the capacitance value will be constant. You cannot change its value. Whereas in the variable capacitor, the capacitance value can be varied within a specified range. Again, the fixed capacitors are broadly classified into ceramic capacitor, polystyrene capacitor and the electrolytic capacitor, and these variable capacitors are classified into Gantt capacitors, trimmers and padders. We are going to name these capacitors, or these capacitors are classified into different types depending upon the dielectric medium what we are using within the capacitor, that is the dielectric medium what is placed in between the capacitor plates. And the electrolytic capacitors are the only one type of capacitor which are having the positive and the negative terminals. So, whenever we are going to use those electrolytic capacitors in our circuit, we have to make sure that there is a proper connection between the positive and the negative terminals of the capacitor. If the terminals are interchanged, then the capacitor will be completely destroyed or it will be exploded. I hope you are very much clear with these topics. In my next session, I will be coming with a new topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.